Welcome to 5 Minutes with the Newsroom. I'm Kevin Murphy, the journalist product manager with Neighbor, and I'm here today with Green Valley News and Sarita Sun reporter Jamie Verwise. And Jamie recently wrote a story about Desert Sky Cinema in Sarita and some of the struggles they're having keeping the doors open with the pandemic going on and even before then. So, Jamie, just let us know what's going on with Desert Sky Cinema. How are they doing right now?
Yeah, so like you said, cinemas and theaters have really struggled during the pandemic, and it really started before then. Desert Sky Cinema specifically, they actually filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy reorganization in November 2019, so just before the pandemic began. And that's not been an uncommon thing for theaters. Before the pandemic, they were dealing with streaming services kind of taking over already, and then the increase in the price of tickets was kind of driving the demand down. Desert Sky Cinema has been, it's been a challenge for them. They really need to get people into the seats. They're doing some things to try and kind of survive this like everybody else, but yeah, they're really needing people to just come see more movies.
Exactly. And, one of the things they're doing to survive, they had a Christmas movie recently, correct? And that brought in some extra people into the seats, right?
Yeah, it did. That was really interesting, actually. So it was this special called Christmas with The Chosen, the Messengers. So The Chosen is this new show. It's completely crowdfunded now, and it tells the story of Jesus Christ. I'm pretty sure through kind of like the eyes of Mary and Joseph. Completely crowdfunded, really popular. So they did this like limited viewing in I think like over 1,000 theaters in the U.S. and Desert Sky Cinema was one of them. Nationally, this movie did so well that they extended it nationally everywhere. Desert Sky Cinema was only supposed to have it 2 days and ended up getting it for a week. The owner of Desert Sky Cinema told me it was the closest they've been to selling out in a really long time, and that was important for them. However, it's not enough.
And, what are some of the things Desert Sky is doing just to keep the doors open in terms of COVID-19 and just keeping business alive?
Yeah, so during the pandemic, they tried some things. They tried doing some kind of like classic movies for like a reduced ticket price. It didn't do so well for them, but right now they are starting to get new releases again. Hollywood was really shut down during the pandemic, so new movies just weren't available. So they're getting those. They also do these really cool live events. They do these live streamings of like Met events. So they do operas, ballets. It's actually the same company who made the Christmas movie available to them. So they do those. Those have been really popular. One of the things the owner told me was really keeping them afloat right now is they received a grant. It's called the Shuttered Venue Operators Grant. He said that's really what's been keeping them afloat. It was through the American Rescue Act funding, and it was totally designed for theaters, cinemas, anybody who had shows and could no longer, play them during the pandemic. So they did get a big grant for that. That's been helping them a lot.
Okay. And you have a personal story and a personal connection with the movie theater. Would you like to share that with everyone?
Yeah, so I grew up in Sarita, and so Desert Sky Cinema was actually my second job ever. We don't need to get into the year or anything, that's not too important, but yeah, it was one of my first jobs as a high schooler, and when I went in there to take some photos, I saw like the young people who were working behind the counter, so it's still a place where a lot of young people kind of get their start working. I remember burning the popcorn like my first day, and they said, it's initiation, it happens to everybody. I remember getting to do the early screenings of movies the midnight before they released, which was always really fun. I saw the Hills Have Eyes remake, a night early, and it was really scary going home at night after that. Yeah, I love that job. It was really fun. My friends got to come see free movies with me. I mean, yeah.
Okay, so the best thing anyone can do once they feel safe, because the theater is taking measures to make everyone safe during the pandemic here, is to go buy tickets and help them stay afloat. So if you're interested in checking out Jamie's story, head over to gvnews.com and you can read it there. We will see you next time on 5 Minutes with the Newsroom.
Thanks.